So if the Giants called you, right, to be the head coach, would you leave the entertainment?
Would you?
I'm just saying, because it could be kind of a popularity contest now. They be like, yo, you
Explain
own New
something to you,
York.
man. First of all,
So you ain't getting back in that
first of all, they work too hard for me.
right.
The coaches work
It's
too hard.
18, 20-hour days.
But
off top.
you know the structure of it. All you gotta do is put, like you said, put the people in place to do what they do.
See, I said first of all, you can let me finish the rest.
First of all,
they work too hard, man. The
I
hours
already
are
know that.
crazy. Secondly, dealing with guys, I just think my mentality and how I came up as a player
Yeah.
and how coaching was, these guys couldn't handle that.
Right.
Because I'm not going to be soft with you.
Right.
I'm not going to coddle you. I'm not going to tell you, son, it's okay you did it. No, it's not
it ain't
okay.
okay.
That's not me.
Right.
And third, the check ain't big enough to make me go back. I mean, I'll be honest with you. True. It's just not.
Yeah. 30.
So there, you couldn't know. No, I don't want that pressure anymore, man. I don't want the pressure picking up the paper every day. And
Your job's on the line every day.
Every day is not good, and every day there's a problem. I want none of that.
You've been there.
I've been there.
Been
I've
there,
done it.
done that.
Dude, I'm so
survived it.
happy when I wake up and I'm going, I report the news, but I ain't gonna be the news.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
That's what's up. And I know I mentioned the Rooney Rule, and you touched on stuff about, guys being put in position, and guys that are not, they work themselves to a degree to get to a certain level. I know you watch a little bit of football on Fox or whatever. What do you think about the Rooney Rule?
I think what happened this year with them hiring coaches. I mean, what rule?
Ain't no rule.
Right, no
I
rule.
mean, it was.
Speaking of,
it was just disheartening. And I'm not mad because any coach got a job.
Mm-hmm.
God
right,
bless
because
them
in
for
New
getting a
York
job.
City,
in New York,
they just hired
you got Joe Judge.
Judge.
And I don't know. I've never met him. I'm sure I'll meet him
At some
really
point.
soon. I saw the press conference the other day. Sounds great. Passes all those tests, but still, you still got to coach a team and win.
Right.
But I guess they looked at it as the where he came from, his past, his pedigree with Saban, with Belichick, and all those things that he can kind of harness what he's learned. 38 years old, he can be a young coach for years for this team. I understand what the mindset is, and I probably think there's a little panic that set in too.
Absolutely.
When Rule went to Carolina,
That was
there was
guy.
some panic set in.
Yep.
But when it came to the Rooney Rule, with all these teams, and not just my Giants,
yeah, that's not the Giants.
it's like
across league wide.
you have Bieniemy, you have a lot of other
Leftwich
coaches who who are coordinators.
And
One step below head coach.
Right.
You ain't get a sniff.
They ain't called him one time.
You don't get a call. You don't get a sniff. You don't get anything. But you'll go to a team and you'll take a coach who was a special teams coach or who was
quality
a quality control who in every 1 year,
Right.
in NFL. And we all know being a college coach is different from being an NFL coach.
No doubt.
It's a totally different mindset because you're dealing with guys who are making millions of dollars.
Right.
And it's a lot different than dealing with a kid who's out there on a 4-year or whatever scholarship, playing for a scholarship.
Yep.
And it's a different thing. And not saying that I wish them all success, but to me, I was disheartened because you had a lot of guys who were coordinators, one step below being a head coach who didn't even get a sniff at an opportunity. And they can say he didn't interview well, he didn't do this. That's fine.
But bring him in.
But bring him in.
least give him an
Let him get
opportunity.
experience interviewing.
Right.
So maybe the next time he knows that
he'll have a
interview
better
better.
interview, yeah.
But you can't have a rule like this and then have these openings. Somebody said, there are only 5 jobs that opened up. It's like,
We only want one
but
of them.
look, who are the best 5 qualified guys?
So just think about 15, 20 years ago. Just think, because I know I played with some great receiver coaches, African-American coaches at that, from Larry Kirksey, George Stewart, Ray Sherman, David Culley.
Oh, yeah.
Just think 20 years ago, there's no way they would even think that they would get an opportunity to be a head coach.
No.
No.
as a receiver coach, just to make that leap.
Yeah.
And now it's just like,
We gonna take a receiver.
Well, before at one point there was no way that anybody thought they were gonna get a head coaching job. Period. I don't care what coach you were.
Right.
Think about it. You were never gonna get past a certain level. Art Shell came through with the Raiders and had some success there, and kind of Tony Dungy, all these guys showed what you can do, but it's still disproportionate with the percentage of minority players in the league. And to the coaching situation is disproportionate.
Yeah.
Now. So at some point, it's gonna change. I think it's inevitable that it's gonna change, but it's gonna take, to me, some owner to owners to do that. Yep. To take a chance.
But that's where the problem lies too, is that there are no African American owners.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
You know
and they have to vote you in too, so it ain't like they're just gonna let any African American.
Right. And I knew a few years ago, I think that was Puffy and somebody was
they were trying
to do Carolina.
Kind of thing.
But at the end of the day, the big checkbook wins.
Absolutely.
So they weren't gonna outbid Tepper. Just weren't gonna outbid him. He's the richest owner in NFL right now. So he had the checkbook to do whatever the heck he wanted and buy the team, and he qualified because he was a partial owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers at some point. So he was already in the system, let's say. He was already in the system of the NFL. But I think at some point, and I feel like some point soon, there will be a team that is majority owned by a minority, because economically there are minorities now who have the money to do it and who can put the group together to do it. And I think it's just a hot topic issue that you have some guys who want to do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys, when you've reached that billionaire status, really nothing you can't do. But if you can become a minority owner in the NFL, then a black owner, you'll be the first.
Absolutely.
Now, there's a lot of stuff you can do with billions, but how many times can you ever be first at something like that?
Not in today's world.
And not in today's world. So, and it's in the boys' club too, So these guys want to get in, and I think eventually, pretty soon, somebody will.
So you heard it from Stray, baby, on GPR. Get your popcorn ready. Michael Strahan in the building.
That's right, man.
I appreciate you coming out.
Am I done?
I'm done, dog. Like
what?
Yeah, man.
Come on, man. What the hell you got on this sheet?
Shoot, let's do some more. I mean, we got a whole bunch. We got social status. So the one social
new
status.
edition.
So yeah, so you remember, because they got on you, right?
What did I do?
So the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, and they did the dance, I said, "Oh, that's NSYNC."
Everybody thought, well, you said NSYNC and all, and Black Twitter went off saying, "How you not know that's not New Edition?" Now you know the New Edition steps, right?
Yeah, I know New Edition.
Show us what's the New
Edition.
Can you show us the New Edition steps?
When you got 12 jobs and they both start with an N, you make a mistake. And New Edition, NSYNC, I know them all. Black Twitter, leave me alone, man.
There
You're
it
human.
is. Okay.
You're human.
You're human. You make mistakes.
Okay,
but that's the great thing about live TV. I don't want to be perfect. If I want to be perfect, I'd have got my teeth fixed a long time ago. I don't want to be perfect. The world is imperfect. I'm imperfect.
Absolutely.
Anybody tries to be perfect, to me, it's not real. Like when I see somebody trying to act, and I'm like, dude, come on, man.